This USFL Picks Week 4 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Shady Rays. SGPN is teaming up with Shady Rays for Shady May. Get 50% off your Shady Rays using promo code SGPN, and then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win $500.
Hey, it's Scooby right here, aka Shark Dog, listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan. Real money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Colby on the 3rd of May, 2023 is officially excommunicated from the great country of the United States of America. Full Benedict.
He's trying to get a Central American football league going. No luck filling in for him. You know him from Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, Mr. CJ Sullivan. What's happening, CJ?
Hey, I'm glad to step in for Cartel Colby.
Oh,
The man in the box himself here.
Man in the box, the C-Generate. I like to throw that name out there when I'm with the mothership here.
I do like that. If you say it
The
enough,
C-Generates.
Yeah.
I like it. That's what we got you.
My C-Gens are out there. Like
Hashtag C-Gens only. Now, how much have you? I know you're a spring football expert, of course, from the XFL Gambling Podcast as well. And
whoa, Sean, they're not all the same.
No,
How
they
dare
are,
you
they
put
are
them all in
So
the
very completely
it's
different.
a heated, unnecessary rivalry between XFL and
Hey,
USFL.
Sean,
fans.
use the proper pronoun.
I will say, as a co-host of the XFL show, if you look at the tally sites, 1, 2, 3 are the hosts of that show.
Yes.
For this week, as it should be.
Yeah.
Well, I did forget to play some of my XFL picks. I'm doing pretty good in the XFL.
We were relying on that to get to the top of the scoreboard. I hope people just straight up
Forgetting to play
straight up
third.
forget about the XFL.
The season's getting long.
Yeah, it sure does.
Well, and we jokingly mentioned, Ryan, on our last XFL Picks podcast that we would be taking a week off for media week before the XFL championship, and it turns out they actually do have
That's real.
a week off
Lot of-
between the XFL. Not conference division championships, and then moving over to the XFL Super Bowl. We're gonna have our own XFL Championship Bowl picks show. But how
Just to be clear, though, we that was not a bit.
no, I totally.
I was like,
no
a
way.
bit.
It was not.
It was a
knowing,
bit.
yeah.
We had no information.
No.
It's actually quite shocking that you would lose any momentum you had.
Well, there's a lot of accommodations they got to take care of. They got to, they got to. They thought Houston was going to be in it for one, so they got to repaint that field.
Oh wow!
In the same field, and then they thought the Brahmas were in there, and then Jack Cohn had a ticket request.
And you're just, you're giving. You don't. If you learn anything from the NFL, you don't give away any free time on the air, and so you're giving away week 4. In the USFL, just
You're
let
right,
them compete freely.
I'm cutting the USFL short on their deserved time.
No. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the XFL. Like, why not have your championship?
Well,
this
the
week?
beer snake needs accommodating. You gotta fly that over. You gotta take that by train because they don't fly the beer snake or it'll break.
Yeah, imagine the viral video of someone tried to bring the beer snake on a plane.
So you literally
sir, you cannot bring, sir.
Once they had rules for the beer snake, it kind of took the
Does
fun
not
out of it.
fit in the box.
Once they
a beer snake on a train though would be pretty amazing. Documenting that travel
through
San
one
Antonio.
car to the next.
Yeah,
That actually makes way more sense.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
The beer snake was really cool, but when they when they didn't allow it, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna allow it, but here are our rules for the beer snake. It's just like, come on, guys. The part about having a beer snake, just don't enforce the no beer snake rule. Have the no beer snake rule, and it's like all these fans are doing it anyway. They're crazy. They're wild.
I know. I don't like when they join in and like, hey, we're cool with it. Just play by these rules. It's got that vibe of like when everyone was kneeling during the national anthem and Jerry Jones joined them, with the arms like locked in on it. Like, okay, now this is not what this is about at all.
Yeah, and then 50 years ago, a certain photo was released to Jerry Jones.
Right, he's just a
he wasn't kneeling back then.
Yeah,
no, he's just a front runner, Sean. He's just a front runner.
He knows whatever popular side of the issue is, he's hopping on.
Just wants to be where the story is. I know. I used to say, like, when that picture came out, like Jerry Jones isn't even on these racist like moments. Like, he's like an unfamous one. He's like the Forrest Gump of racism. Like, he's there with the hose. He's at the diner. He's like at all these things at the school. But
it's like, where's Waldo in history?
Exactly.
Somehow this man is alive for hundreds of years.
So I kind of wish this beer snake was still not allowed. I like the cat and mouse game between a minimum wage security and his only job is to ruin fun. Hey, go break up that fun up there. And it's
it's like a weird coin too, because on one hand, like, okay, I'm gonna go ruin fun. On the other hand, it's like, what am I gonna be, the guy who ruins the fun? Like, that's the security guard mentality, right? It's like, unfortunately for the guy who tried to propose on the Dodgers field, he got the wrong side of the coin. The guy who's like, oh, it's fucking on.
He made his own fun. I want to drill this guy and do him a solid. Break up this engagement.
If you review the tape of the Dodgers one, there's definitely a couple overweight Latino dudes just hanging closer to the sideways.
That is just a dream come true,
right?
For you, I mean, you sign up to become a stadium security guard for the day you get to tackle a street.
Or because you just like watching the game and you're lazy as fuck. Like,
there's
what I'm
two
saying.
extremes.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's like cops.
Right, yeah.
There's like one cop who's like, I can't wait for someone to break the law, and the other is just completely lazy and doesn't want to do it.
I signed up for this online class to use this taser. That's why I did. Can't wait to drill this guy.
Yeah, and so I guess that's what I was trying to get. Like, that's exactly what I was saying. Like the fact that you would be both like a beer snake, really. That's like, you're the beach ball guy at this point, right?
Right. You're deflating a beach ball.
Really, you're all right. But occasionally you run into the psycho who like enjoys taking like
just for a league that has to be worried about its bottom line. Don't you want a tradition that encourages people buying $9 beers? Like, hey, whatever it is,
well, they
move a couple more beers.
Especially when they found out the alternative was them launching lemons onto the field. Like,
Sean, the league isn't seeing a penny of that beer.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They're not getting beer.
We're probably a little jealous of the DC. DC's flush.
So now we got to get it back to USFL. This is the USFL Week 4 Picks podcast. We got a ton of picks. Before we get to that, of course, shout out to Shady Ray. My main man, Shady Ray. Loving the Shady Rays for Shady May. That's right. Shady Rays is teaming up with us, aka SGPN, for Shady May. Not only do you get these amazing sunglasses, but you also get 50% off when you use the promo code SGPN and a chance to win $500. Just head over to shadyrays.com. Get you some, get a couple pairs of those nice polarized shades. I'm rocking some now. YouTube.com/sportsgambling podcast. Again, lost and broken replacement policy, no questions asked. CJ loves that policy. Again, he just shattered a pair earlier.
Yeah, checking out fajitas. Look at that, the kale salad. Look at that salad. It's got all these macadamia nuts. No, quite. Luckily, Shady Rays doesn't care what your story is.
What? Maybe
between you and the glasses.
Yeah, keep it to yourself, man. We know it's embarrassing.
Horrible beer snake accident, whatever it is, you're covered. ShadyRays.com, promo code SGPN, and then again, take that receipt. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Shady for a chance to win $500 at the end of Shady May. Kramer, any big takeaways from USFL Week 3? Of course, your Generals got the big outright win, even as 4.5-point dogs.
Hold on,
that was the real bright spot of Week 3. Other than that, I felt like we got our ass kicked.
It's bullet point 2. Bullet point 1 is Birmingham. I'm very sorry for suggesting another team that isn't the New Jersey Generals. I thought Birmingham was in that same big stride ahead because of the year ahead continuity coach, quarterback system, everything.
I mean, Birmingham let up 45 points. Like
they lost the fucking Showboats. Come on,
they lost to the Breakers.
Sorry, they lost to the fucking Breakers.
Breakers have been a tsunami of offense, putting up 45 against the Stallions.
Good. That was good, Sean.
We even had.
Was that intentional?
No. I improvised that line.
No, the tsunami and the Breakers.
Yeah, that was a little nugget for.
Are they really called the
Breakers?
Like as if like they're like levee breakers?
Well, which
that feels a little out of like
call
poor
yourselves
taste.
the Katrinas for crying out loud.
It is unfortunate. They are the New Orleans Breakers.
Yeah.
You don't think you would lean into like out of control water? In
Not
your,
known for their surfing scene, are they?
No, maybe it's
Can we maybe just call them the football team going forward?
breakdancing.
I'm
Maybe?
at-
Is electric
you know what?
boogaloo going on?
Sean, let's get ahead of it. Let's call them the New Orleans football team.
Okay, I like it. Man, I mean that'd be like the New Jersey Tower 7. It just feels like why would you bring that up?
Yeah, I mean you could even say it's like the New Jersey building 1 and 2.
Building 1 and 2, yeah. Tower 7, there's more dispute as what really happened.
There's a
right?
lot of
That one
back and forth.
That team doesn't exist. That's a
Which,
myth.
by the
It's
way,
off the grid.
now that Pete Carroll's done with the draft, it's full building 7 season in Seattle.
For me, the Stars, like they just cannot get it right. They were 6.5-point favorites against the Maulers. Maulers' defense has been good. I think this was their first game with an offensive touchdown. Kind of embarrassing for the Stars, and I know Colby is
they're out.
They cannot figure out how to run the ball to save their life. Colburn, their leading rusher, 22 carries, 69 yards for the season.
Yeah.
Like they just cannot figure it out.
That would be 2.75 a pop.
Yes,
And can
not
we-
getting it done.
Can we? All right. So I feel like we've done this every week, so we should do it again. Even though Colby's not here to tell us he loves every team. From a futures perspective, Sean,
Yes.
Memphis, the fucking Showboats, they're 25 to 1.
Okay.
Pretty much written up. But Pittsburgh, again, showing a little bit of fight. They're 22 to 1. The Houston Gamblers, 12 to 1. Well, okay. Probably not interested. Philly, your Stars down to 6 to 1, Sean.
Wow.
Maybe a week more of the price plummeting. Michigan, who Colby states is good. They lost to the Generals. Can't take that away from them. 5 to 1. New Jersey still plus 450. What are they watching? DeAndre Johnson's the best quarterback in the league. It's not even close.
Well,
they got the rushing attack.
And they have a pretty good path
defense
to the playoffs.
Chris Orr, a linebacker.
Exactly.
Generals?
Their defense sucks. Sorry, their defense is good. Their division sucks, is what you were saying, Sean.
Yes.
But that's even better. It's a pathway to the championship.
The undefeated Nolans Breakers are 3 to 1, and Birmingham, who just lost to those Breakers, still 240. I mean, at this point, I'm just going to tell you to reinvest. The Generals were 550 last week. Why are we still dilly dallying with this fucking price?
Yeah, it's
Third
crazy.
favorite.
I mean, especially in that division, the North, pretty wide open.
Anyway,
I mean, I
always
even
good to revisit that every week.
I think the Maulers at 16 to 1 are kind of interesting. I think their path to the playoffs is pretty feasible, especially with just how awesome their defense has been.
CJ likes a system. This is our system.
I like the system.
For these spring football leagues, there always seems to be a division with 3 shit teams.
Yeah.
And you just have to take the team.
I mean, that's how we got to Arlington.
Yeah, we're on a
Yeah,
10 to
10 to 1.
We had all three.
Yeah.
We had Arlington, San Antonio, and Orlando.
Because inherently
at different
there's some
numbers.
there's some
Like one of
value
them's got to
there.
get in there. Yeah.
So in this case, I guess you're saying, hey, Pittsburgh, not that bad.
No, Pittsburgh's defense is awesome.
Great
and
defense.
they already beat the Stars, who arguably, they're both tied 1 and 2. They're in the bottom of the North. They're only, they got the Panthers, who I think they may be able to hang with, and even the Generals. Like the Maulers' defense is so good for them to sneak into the playoffs. Isn't that bad? And then you're sitting at that 16.
Generals beat them 20-3. Just let's pump. I'm just saying, let's pump the brakes.
All right, so maybe
defense did their job.
they
Troy,
haven't played the Panthers yet, though, have they? Let me confirm.
No,
that.
they have not. They've not played the Panthers yet. They have the. So here's.
So the team ahead of them, they're fine.
They have the Stallions and the Panthers coming up. So maybe you wait a couple weeks and then you bet them before they play the Showboats.
Listen to this. If the Maulers were in the USFL South, they would have the best defense as far as points allowed. So
But
that's
they're not.
No, but I'm saying like their defense I think can hang in these interdivision play. Their defense is just awesome.
They have 18 points a game, like you mentioned there with the points a game, and they have a good kicker, which is key. I think in spring football.
Huge. Again, imagine them.
That's why CJ's here.
They're going to be 4-5 in week 9, and it's going to come down to like a field goal, a defensive stop. I mean, some of the stuff from handicap and XFL and USFL is pretty similar.
Minor
Like
league football.
Yeah, absolutely.
These teams that one don't turn it over and have a decent defense, I think you can hang around.
Are we putting in Penn Breakers and Stallions in the South?
Oh wait, so Ryan, sorry, you have Maulers. Where are you getting that Maulers number from? You have it at 22-1.
I'm looking at DraftKings right now.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe wait till I don't know. Do we wait till after?
Well,
this
like
game
I said,
against the Stallions.
They play the Stallions. They play the Panthers back-to-back weeks. So you could obviously we're going to need them to win against the Panthers.
Are we getting greedy by waiting till?
No, I would.
Stallions are a 7-point favorite.
Right.
What we say we get our like let's talk about legal gambling for a second.
Sure.
Actually, this is legal in all 50 states. We'll put our stockbroker glasses on. Hold on. Okay. So what we would do here is we would say we love this stock up until the price, and we just buy it until it hits that price. Because I think and probably the price seems to be in the spring football is you're looking at 12 to 15 to 1 should probably be your basement of buying these shit teams who might have a path in because the playoff system is flawed. So at 22 to 1, it's an A+ buy. It's a AAA buy, whatever system you like. It's a bright green buy. So I mean, all right,
I agree, and I think it can only get drastically worse if they win. If they lose,
you're right.
It's not going to fall like the 30 or 40 like that. So
if they lose to the Stallions, they're probably already pricing in a loss to the Stallions.
Put it this way.
So I think you're getting I think you are getting a bit greedy if you don't do it.
Houston, the Gamblers have virtually no chance of making the playoffs in my mind.
Okay.
They're 12 to 1. Pittsburgh, significantly better chance. Although I still think Philly gets shit together. They should be the team, but I'm with you, Sean. I don't hate it.
Let's go.
I think you're probably going to hate it in a couple weeks, but I don't hate it.
Sure.
It will get worse before it gets better.
I'm actually going to be in Ohio visiting some in-laws this weekend, so I'm going to get down on my Maulers play there in the great state of Ohio.
Will you go to see?
Maybe I'll do a road trip to Canton.
Oh, what are you doing on Sunday? It's games all day. All right, so Saturday, 10 a.m. I'm not intimately familiar with what they're competing with. It's certainly not XFL games. That's exciting. Maybe some baseball. The Houston Gamblers taking on the Philadelphia Stars. The Stars are at home in Detroit. Are we, Sean? What's the vibe? How is Philly invading the city of Detroit?
Yeah, we're gonna be showing up big time.
Big game here. Philly -2.5, -154 on the money line, +120 for the Gamblers. 44.5 is the total. You know, I would have told you, and I think this line is exactly the way I think about this game. I would have told you. I think Philly is going to be a real solid team this year. Again, kind of using some of the same logic I used for the Generals and the Stallions, and they haven't been that. And the Gamblers, meanwhile, okay, it's one of those like they look all right. Okay, big split here. 35% of the bets on the Gamblers, but 85% of the money on the Gamblers. We're seeing some sharp action coming in, a little heavy action coming in early on the Gamblers.
Interesting.
Well, and Gamblers are coming off their first win of the season against the Showboats. Kind of crazy game-winning drive. They almost blew that game a number of times. This is tough because I feel like I should just get off of my Philadelphia Stars, but maybe this is an ultimate bounce back moment for the Stars. CJ, what's your handicap on this game?
It is a bounce back. It's an early Saturday morning, like you said, competing with
I should pull up the sports game.
Jack Hanna show. Maybe is that what's on Saturday morning?
I know his kid plays with animals now. Right?
Maybe Sean will be there this weekend in Ohio. Isn't he a Columbus Zoo guy, Jack Hanna?
Rest in peace, Tiger.
Stars are on a shorter week.
Houston's showing some life. Actually, I know you guys just thought you're dismissing them. I know they're bad.
No, they looked all right.
Kenji Barr, not too bad. I mean,
he's a name. He's a recognizable name.
He is a recognizable name, and they have one of the new coaches, Curtis Johnson. So they have a new regime in there, and they're showing bad. But like I said, I don't know. I don't like the Stars team. I don't know what to do with them. And
Case Koukas, he looks all right. But overall, I'm gonna take the Gamblers.
I know. I mean.
Curtis Johnson.
Kramer, what are you doing?
Fun fact.
I just can't take the Stars right now.
I don't like this game at all.
Fun fact: he has both a national championship and a Super Bowl championship. Did you know? He's never been a head coach before, so kind of fits the mold of like this is a little scary. Sean went to college in Moscow, Idaho. That's fun.
The Vandals
won a national championship with Miami, 2001. Won a Super Bowl with the Saints. No, that can't be right. Yeah, won a Super Bowl with the Saints. Holy shit. This guy was involved in the cheating. He might know it. Yeah, so my handicap on this is I still think the Stars are a better team. They've really been shit though. Like I really need Sean to check in with the blob and let me know what's going on.
Let's take it. Play the song, Philly Stars.
Let's go.
Benedict Arnold, play the song, everything.
Well,
flip, flop, snorkel, all the codes. Let's do it.
My concern is that I know that MLB Sean baseball.
I can't. I'm always gonna pick Philly. I'm rocking my Sixers shirt here.
Well, let's break down
Ryan,
this game.
Ryan
Sean
did try to talk me out of betting on the Sixers game one. No, I
am wearing a general shirt. I'm actually wearing the league we're talking about, not this NBA fraud.
I like
business.
fading the gamblers coming off a win, right? Like they had a dramatic win.
Helmets in our office, gamblers' helmets.
Yes.
Good point.
I just like fading bad teams coming off a win, and I think this Houston Gamblers team qualifies. They did everything they could to lose that game against the Showboats. We had the Showboats in our Shady Rays parlay of the day. They should have won that game. I think this is a good bounce back spot for Case Kukas and the Stars. So give me the Stars here, laying the 2.5.
I'll take it.
I know they make it -2.5 because they want you on the Stars. But I don't know if they have enough data to actually figure it out.
Give me a pie chart percentage. We have baseball Sean, NBA Sean,
NBA Sean,
football Sean, and USFL Sean. Like how much of that pie is USFL getting right now?
It's a solid slice of pizza right now.
Okay, bigger than the MLS Sean slice.
MLS Sean, I hate that league. Not gonna mention it, right?
Give me. All right, I really want to be contrarian here and take the gamblers.
Is it contrarian? You just said 84% of the money's on it.
No, 36% of the bets, but 84% of the money.
Where are these bets?
Sharps. I'll join you and the other
66% of this table.
Yes.
I'll join you and the other sharps on the Philadelphia Stars.
Yes.
I still think their roster's better. They gotta figure this shit out.
It's a sharp sound effect.
Okay.
Let's go Stars.
All right,
Come on.
I'm learning the soundboard on the bottom line bombs when I get to borrow it. It's like playing with.
It is. It's like a piano or something.
It's like
a keyboard.
When the parents are away, I play with their toys.
Yeah, just
Go in the room and mess around with their stuff.
Yeah.
Just make sure you replace it with water back up to that level. Use a highlighter.
Yeah, I'm there with the Sharpie.
I know.
Seeing how much schnapps you snuck away from
The
bar.
key was you marked it with a highlighter, so it was hard to see. It was like
I have to force Daniel Jones in every episode now.
Oh, so you can play the Mr. Jones.
So I can play the Mr. Jones. Or any kind of Van Jones.
He prefers Dan.
I'm sorry.
So USFL must be listening because they are getting smart. They're saving money by not having to turn the lights on and off twice in a weekend. We're staying in Detroit, Sean. Question is, have they figured out to sell one ticket to get more of an audience there for both games? Probably not.
No.
4:30 here on the West Coast. Memphis, the Showboats taking on the Michigan Panthers. Panthers -6.5 here, -275 on the money line, +205 for the Showboats. 43.5 is the total. I was gonna say, but this is a great time to buy Michigan, coming off the game against Jersey. I mean, I think, considering how good New Jersey is, Michigan definitely is going to be the team that maybe gets screwed here. Maybe they're the second team in the playoffs out of this division. Maybe they get screwed. I certainly think they're unfortunately people are watching because the number is what it is for a reason. 6.5. What do we do, Sean?
Oh, you got to take the Showboats here. I don't know if I like them on the money line, but they are a team that can hang around, and Michigan doesn't have they don't have an offense that's going to dominate, right?
Do we tease this one?
Do you tease it? No. No, not at all. I mean, and Michigan has a pretty good pass rush, but and you don't feel great about the Showboats. The Showboats had some moments though. I think they're going to be able to hang around this game. The Panthers just don't have an offense that's going to completely run away with this game. I just don't see that.
I need CJ to sway me.
CJ, what are you doing here?
No love for Josh Love over there with the Michigan offense. I like this Michigan team.
Okay.
I think Reggie Corbin's a great running back that they have there, but this is just a coaching mismatch to the highest degree if you could ever get one. You have Mike Nolan, who automatically just made Michigan good by replacing Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, he was a huge up. It turned out he was a huge up.
Yeah, right. Immediate 2 wins, which totaled their entire win total from last year. But Todd Haley, come on.
You're right. You know what? Auto fade.
Get the fade. Where's this fade bucket? We talked about it for the next show.
We do need a fade bucket.
And Todd Haley is the first candidate I put in USFL that goes into the fade bucket. I will never.
They're playing for next year,
so
right?
Absolutely. And he's just these meltdowns. He's young and it's all his fault. Like, he's a fucking idiot.
74% of the bet, Sean. 93% of the handle. Obviously Michigan, a very public team.
Right.
I'm gonna stick with the Showboats.
You're taking the
CJ
Showboat?
made a compelling case of fading Todd Haley.
Yeah.
And I think the Showboats, I think it's like last week where they and again, we picked it at 3. I think it ended up closing 4.5. So if you got the late number, you would have covered. I think Showboats, they got 2 defensive ends, Jordan Williams and Greg Reeves, each with 2.5 sacks, tied for 3rd in the league. I think their defense a little underrated here.
All right. Because like do NFL gambling instincts work in the USFL? Because +2.5, +6.5, just begging you to take the dog, Sean.
I mean, again, I'm on the Showboats. You know, you and Joe Q Public can be all over.
I think Michigan's gonna fuck up Memphis here.
Rashard Davis,
hip to be
364 receiving yards for the Panthers there, or sorry, for the Showboats.
Yeah,
all these fucking teams run together.
I'm tracking a trend right now. When teams coming off the game versus Jersey. 2-0 straight up, 2-0 against the spread.
It's like playing the Ravens.
Yeah.
You know, you get beat up. It takes
Sore.
you gotta recover.
Because people are like, oh, you must suck. No, you just played the best team in the league by a mile. So yeah, give me Michigan.
Back. Absolutely, it's a huge bounce back for them.
I like 2 things here too. This is also fading Jeff Fisher in that a very mediocre coach is able to replace him and be a massive.
That is
right. It's a rare game where you can fade Jeff Fisher and Todd Haley with the same play.
Yeah, this is the Ben Roethlisberger special.
You guys are making great points. I'm sticking with the Showboats though. Hey, we'll get to Sunday games before we do that. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. That's right. Best Ball Mania 4 is here. Already drafted my first team. Look out. Again, $25 entry, and you have a chance to win. They have a $15 million prize pool. That's insane. And if you go to UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100, aka 4 free shots to win your share of $15 million. I mean, again, it's a huge chunk of change, and the best ball drafts are super fun. Again, perfect time to do them. You're jonesing for football. And it's great. You don't have to manage the team. You just draft them and you're done. Also, they got you covered NBA, NHL, MLB. Nice way to get down on some player prop parlays, aka their pick'em contests. Tons of way to win.
Sean, I hate to break in, but ask me what my advance rate is in the Zamboni.
What is your advance rate in the Zamboni contest?
100%.
Oh,
baby.
really?
Oh my god!
And I got Kraken. My team is littered with Kraken.
Kramer went all in on the Kraken.
I went all in on the Devils and the Kraken.
Yes.
Make sure you
Sean,
check out CJ's Ice Dog system.
You wouldn't believe it. I have the backup goalie for the Devils. Accidentally drafted the wrong one. I didn't.
You didn't draft Schmidt?
Yeah, you didn't expect
I did.
You didn't expect
okay.
He's the backup.
You did. He was 3rd string when it started out. That's great.
Schmidt
That's why it's an accident.
He wasn't.
He's standing on his head.
Complete accident.
He's not even the actual backup. He's a 3rd stringer.
But 100% advance rate.
And now he's the greatest player in the league. He's single-handedly going to win a Stanley Cup.
The flare on his glove saves. It's beautiful.
Give me a Devils Kraken matchup all day.
And hey, also Kentucky Derby. Make sure you check out the Notorious OTB podcast. Get you ready for Derby week. We're gonna have those guys on later on talking Derby. Drop the Wolf of Oaklawn review of his podcast, Notorious OTB. Automatically entered to win the Fallen Bob Baffert painting. It is one of a kind.
It sounds erotic.
Insano checking in. Hockey dog system is barking.
Sure is.
Oh,
really
wow.
is.
He's a celebrity.
I mean, it's getting out. The system's getting out there.
People love a good system, CJ.
you're not.
So this agenda,
like I said, there's nothing to think about when it's a system like splitting aces.
Yeah.
Or double down on a blackjack if it comes to cream dog. You just fucking ought to do it.
I was explaining earlier, Sean, to CJ that nothing better than getting 2 8s in blackjack against the 6, splitting and getting a 3 and a 2.
Oh, that's his dream scenario.
Maybe even another 8.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Oh yeah, I want 8s down the line.
And then I went on to explain how my go-to joke is to pretend like I'm going to double down when I get a blackjack when the dealer has a shitty card.
I love that.
All right.
I never heard that. That's hilarious.
Sunday, noon. We're heading to Canton for a doubleheader, Sean. You really should make your way out here. The games are there's no
See,
time.
my wife wants to make it.
Sure, I'm sure she'd love
3-hour road trip
Sean,
to Canton for some USFL action.
It's a beautiful Canton, Ohio.
A, there's no time in between the games. B, you know that our people in Canton could get you into the building, no problem. C, come on, USFL
City,
football.
come on.
Breakers. I mean, this is the game of the weekend here. The Breakers from New Orleans. Hopefully, they're just talking about waves breaking and not what we were discussing.
Not levies.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Taking on the New Jersey Generals. Still insulting that they're such a long shot to win the league title.
Yeah.
Breakers -2.5 here on the road. You're making the New Jersey Generals home dogs in Canton, Ohio. How confusing. -165 on the money line for the Breakers, +130 for the Generals. 47.5 is the total.
I mean,
so you guys can talk. You know
the Breakers are getting a little bit of hype for good reason. Top passer, top rusher, top receiver.
Yep.
Not interested.
Top scoring kicker. But I actually
top kicker.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Kramer here with the New Jersey Generals. They're dominating on the ground, 169 yards per game. And not to sound like Colby, but teams that run the ball in these spring football leagues are tough,
Sean, to take out. These Southern teams don't play any fucking defense. Not a lick of it. You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
You said you had a fun Nito stat where Pittsburgh, 3rd worst defense in the division in the North, would be the second best defense in the South.
The best.
Yeah.
The best defense in the South by points allowed. I mean, come on.
Generals 43 points allowed, best in the league by a full 8 points. You look at the Breakers on the other hand, they've allowed 77 points. So there's a chance because this game, luckily, Ryan, this isn't being played in Detroit, Michigan, because you get those conditions in Ford Field. I mean, it's like mile high. It becomes a shootout. Right. But on the real grass of Canton, Ohio, it slows things down and it favors the Jersey Generals. Maybe getting a little rain there in Canton as well. Did a little weather research. So I think a little bit of heat and humidity as well for Canton. I think all that plays in the Generals' favor. I'm taking the Generals here as a small dog, catching 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, again, NFL instincts would say take the 2.5, right?
CJ, how we looking?
Well, I'm loving your dog. I know I can't. I mean, Graham. I mean, midweek I already jumped on the number because he thought it was, he said
I saw you Monday.
Max out the whatever bet online will allow. He says on anything in general. I don't know if he gave out totals, but
yeah, let's do it.
I mean, until further notice, I think New Orleans levy breaker overs are all. I mean, always play. They scored 38 points a game the last couple games. They play no
total
defense,
sit at 47.5.
Yeah, I mean I think that's going to fly over. And I think Jersey, I mean, will also score. Even though they're not known for all. But DeAndre Johnson against this defense.
I do think they're going to be able to score some points.
Well, and I think just the fact that you're a running team against a defense that's so soft, you can really just pound the rock, old school football, and keep their offense
and then open
off
up
the field.
This is finally a team that can be able to do what they want. They can open up the playbook. And
I mean, the only issues is we know Canton, Ohio. They once canceled that preseason game because they didn't let the paint dry. And as Eagles fans, I know with the slippery conditions can really.
That's NFL though. USFL, get on the field, okay?
I don't think they're going to paint the field.
And we got a hard out at 12:30, so get this thing going.
We got to get the orange slices in.
Right.
We got to switch.
We got a field trip coming in to see the Hall of Fame, so we need you. We need you out of here by 1 because we need a parking lot opened up, and I don't want to see you in the cafeteria either.
That'd be funny. The USFL players are doing the NFL experience in the Hall of Fame after the game. So we're all on the Generals.
On the Generals, and New Orleans offense is clicking, so I like that over a lot.
Nice little bonus take on the side.
Generals might be there to hold the hold the levee from breaking. I was
They
gonna
can
make
hold
another
the
levee
levee.
joke.
Sure, make
All right,
it.
Birmingham the Stallions,
I think
Pittsburgh Maulers.
I hate to break it to you, but I think you did make that joke.
Natural.
He was easing into it.
All right.
Natural.
It was low tide, and then he worked his way up to high tide. Oh, Ryan's always Ryan's always on high tide.
He didn't heed the warnings. He stayed his ground, and he said, "I'm going to ride the storm out."
It's already been noted. Natural disaster does not offend people, so that's the joke shouldn't offend you either.
Enough time and lives have gone by. And the feelings have washed away.
Yeah, I mean, they call a hockey team the Hurricanes. Like, come on.
I know there's hurricanes all over them.
Not an original bit, but that's murderous.
Right.
Murderous weather system. Birmingham Stallions taking on the Pittsburgh Maulers. Again,
Maulers.
Sean will be at the doubleheader, so if you're in Canton, let Sean know you'll be there, so you can have a fun meet and greet with them. Maybe hang out between the games, play a little beer pong. Birmingham -7, -400 on the money line. Maulers +280. This is a bounce back spot, or is Birmingham fundamentally broken? Seems like a bounce back spot.
Yeah, I mean, I see it, but
99% of the handle on the Stallions right now.
I mean, this is
that a true number you just said? That's hilarious.
If you can ever believe betting splits from anywhere,
This is some guy's personal account.
This
All
is-
my bets are on this game.
this is per DraftKings.
Right.
I think
Which is crazy.
I think what was
That's amazing.
troubling about Birmingham was not that they lost the game, but in the fashion that they lost it. They just got
they got waxed.
they got waxed and they couldn't stop anything.
But it was a shootout. Pitt's
Sure.
not going to engage in a shootout.
But again, you're getting a really good defense that's catching 7 points
At home.
At home
in Canton, Ohio.
Maulers fans
Pittsburgh.
will travel.
We all know about the
Right.
weather that's happening in Canton.
And this is one of those things where you should look at the map before you say something stupid, because I'm pretty sure Canton, Ohio is not that far from Pittsburgh. I like looking at maps though, because
It's like 2-hour drive.
I don't know shit about
Yeah.
the middle of the country. The part of the country that some people call flyover.
It's closer to Steubenville, I'd say,
Okay.
home of Dean Martin.
Oh wow. See, CJ, you're well traveled.
Well traveled to Pittsburgh, Ohio area, the Midland.
You've done a lot of the Rust Belt.
Yeah, a lot of Mac traveling.
It's
2 hours exactly.
90 miles.
Yeah.
I'm seeing 1 hour and 56 minutes. Gotta
Okay.
Update your GPS.
If you leave now, Pittsburgh. If Yins leave now, you can head there
Yins.
and still get the Terry Bradshaw exhibit of the
Pat-
Cannonball Run bloopers they show.
A lot of good quarterbacking happen in this region of the country.
Yes, absolutely. They grow up. They're born through a tire hanging off a tree. They shoot right out
Fire
to the legs
that
and through
fucking
the tire.
pigskin, boy.
Yeah. Dan Kendra.
All right.
Oh, Dan Kendra reference. Now we're talking. He went
sir.
to my high school,
You
or
woke
like
him up.
no, the local high school right down the
Yeah.
street.
Well, you woke Sean up with that one. Well done.
Dan
I was
Kendra
saving it.
references?
All right, so we're going extremely contrarian with Pittsburgh then. Is that,
I am, yeah, because I think Magoo. He
This
does
is
lead the
against
league
my
in
system.
passing touchdowns.
It's against my system. I think they just ran it. I think we maybe found out that Birmingham maybe could, like, if New Jersey and Birmingham play again and it's a bit of a shootout, or like obviously the Breakers can score. I don't think Pittsburgh can score like this. So I'm actually going to take Birmingham and say bounce back spot.
Yeah, it's good about. Although Skip Holtz doesn't do well with adversity. He likes to crumble as soon as anything. The first sign of bad.
I think this Birmingham, and we see this all the time with these spring leagues, these paper tigers,
Oh, my
where
God.
they come in and hey, Stallions are picking up where they left off, or are they? I think this is I think the Stallions got exposed last week.
Oh.
I think Pittsburgh +7 is a.
So Pittsburgh can expose them in the same way.
I think so.
I have a correlated.
I think they're going to. This feels like a 21-17 game, so I like the Maulers getting 7.
Speak to the Sea Gems.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I have a correlated play with it. If you're going to take Pittsburgh,
Oh, you got to go under.
you
right?
have to take the under. I love the under here. It's like 44 or something like that. So that's crazy talk, and that's the only reason why it's like that is because of Birmingham's offense. But Troy Williams is terrible at quarterback for Pittsburgh. That's the only thing. But their defense is amazing. Who's that Alabama linebacker? Reuben Foster. He's all over the. I mean, you're watching. Like, oh, this is an NFL technical player on excellent. This is an NFL player out there.
Yeah, it is funny to see how much better they
It's funny. It's like watching Pop Warner ball when one kid just amazing running around like that. You're like, oh, he shouldn't be in this league at all, and that's what he's doing. He's just dominating out there. So,
and imagine how terrifying of an individual he is that he's not in the NFL.
Right. I mean, that's what he's like. It's like you see him out there like he's doing this by choice. I think like he just angrily wants to do it. Here's the point totals of the Pittsburgh games this season: 37, which was their highest; 23 and 34.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to come close to 44.
That does seem high.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, they're not going to let you put up a ton of points. They have a decent pass rush. I don't think Magoo has faced this kind of pass rush yet this season.
And like I said, maybe the best kicker in the league with Chris Blewett. Great kicker name. Great kicker name to yell at. Former NFLer. Got a little cup of coffee with the Chargers. And that's what you need in these spring ball leagues. So I like Pittsburgh. I'm even looking. I mean, obviously, if you take the 7, you're going to sprinkle a little on the money line.
Oh, yeah.
I like a lot of what CJ's saying.
Shock the world.
Yeah,
Maulers. That's why I gotta make a calendar note to place my Pittsburgh Maulers future.
Blew it. Yeah, you know what? I'll take the Pittsburgh Maulers. Even though it's against my.
I was swaying.
Oh, I was holding on to my
Get me in the
system.
boiler room. I can sell some penny stocks.
Well, blew it synonymous with Norwood.
Yeah, for sure. Blewett and Norwood, and like I said, those point totals are just crazy too. 20. I mean, whatever.
So if you take, I'm not looking at anyone in particular, but I'm looking at everyone out there. Why can't we bet? Why can't we parlay these games?
Bet online. Why won't you let me bet online?
It's everyone. It's everyone. They're scared to let you parlay these USFL games.
What are they worried about? That we're going to take down their company by parlaying USFL games? Like, come on.
Do I have to post my tally site record, you guys, to for you to allow me to parlay?
I mean, they are taking I am able to make sizable bets on the USFL.
True.
I'm not complaining all the way, but I would like to get down on a plus 280 under parlay.
Oh, Shane Kenyon saying FanDuel lets you.
Oh,
okay. Because I'm going to be in a FanDuel state ride.
So
yes,
go nuts.
I won't be. I'll have to get offshore again. Head to international waters.
All right, let's get to it. Our lock and dog brought to you by ShadyRays.com. Promo code SGPN. Get those 50% off shades and sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win $500 courtesy of Shady May. Kramer, what's your lock? What's your dog?
I think my lock is going to be Michigan because I think Memphis just straight up blows, and I think my dog is going to be this juicy 130 price on the Generals.
Yes, it has to be.
Max play.
Hit the kiosk so they run out of paper.
Sean, get on the horn. Let them know I'm coming. I mean, like Matrix.
What if I
state
land?
by state?
2 if I see. Kramer's coming.
I show up on a fucking paddle board.
You know, the more we thought about it, like the more time has passed in this episode. I'm back on the Stars.
Yes.
I've locked them up previously.
Oh, no. What?
Now you're
Sean.
locking them?
No,
Sean,
I'm
NBA,
1-1 locking them up.
Sean, NBA playoffs. NBA Sean's focused.
I just think this is a good spot.
You're
to fade.
still reading draft grades and watching highlights of the new prospects.
Oh, I did.
You're not going to be. You're in Ohio.
Shout out to Fantasy Pros who named their top mock drafters. I of course was also. I defeated 3 separate scoring systems for the greatest mock draft of all time. And shout out to my co-host Ryan Kramer. He doesn't say Ryan Kramer 14th in Fantasy Pros.
Well,
beating out known tools, Chris Sims, Mike Florio. Mike Florio 170 out of 172. He's a guy who actually knows people in the league, and we're just fucking lapping him.
So 3 organizations.
Chris Sims thinks Jalen Hurts suck. You suck.
Top 25, Sean. 3 organizations had double representation. Us, CBS Sports, and Walter Football. I'll bleep out both those organization names after the fact.
I like Walter. It's a good dude. For my dog. What am I doing here? Do I go
come
big?
On. You know exactly what you're. I could predict this from a mile away. You're
Pittsburgh Maulers.
Yes.
Scared
Feel
to
that
go against
clang. No, you already have the Generals.
Yeah.
Get my sledgehammer out. CJ, what do you got?
I'm going to do like the correlation I threw out there. Lock under 43.5 or 44, whatever you got of that Pittsburgh Maulers game. And give me the +7.5 for my dog as well. Lock in dog. Same, all Pittsburgh. All yins all the time.
Pittsburgh money line?
Per Manny parlay money line. Let's do it. Put the fries in the sandwich and put the kids to bed.
Pittsburgh.
We're going down to parlays and that.
Who will be more represented, the Generals or the Maulers in their home stadium of Canton, Ohio?
Wow, that's interesting. I'd say, yeah,
Sean,
I think there's a swell going with the Generals.
I could probably get this shirt washed and back to you before you leave if you want to bring it, just in case you go and you want to root for the Generals.
No, I'm fine. I mean, you know those Breakers fans. They have
betting kiosks at the stadium.
Yeah,
really? At Canton, Ohio?
Just assuming.
I don't think.
I assume they would figure that out.
We'll be there for the Fantasy Football Expo, Canton, Ohio, coming up August. So
you want to watch some real football on that field?
Oh, yeah,
It's gonna be a flag football game.
Dominating out on the flag field.
I'm definitely gonna get hurt. One of us.
Oh yeah, not me though.
That's all that yoga.
Yep, hot yoga, increased flexibility.
When is that? The fantasy.
Sometime in August. We got to look that up,
nice.
Kramer. I think it's like the weekend after the Hall of Fame game.
Is that streamed anywhere? We need cameras on this game.
We'll get a live stream going.
Thank God.
I'm sure somebody. Yeah,
Holograms. Imagine you can get. They have hologram technology at the Hall of Fame.
I would imagine.
Sure, they have some YA Tittle set up there where he's bleeding. He's bleeding in the end zone, hologram while you guys are going.
They do have a. They actually like when you go in, there's a 3D hologram.
Yes.
And it's hosted by Broadway Joe.
Very moving.
Very hologram.
Very moving.
It's pretty awesome.
It's a moving performance.
I like a drunken hologram.
Yeah. I want to kiss you. Hey, big thanks to CJ Sullivan, aka the man in the box. Subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast.
Yes.
And obviously, subscribe to our podcast if you haven't already. Toss us a nice 5-star rating review over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your pods. Smash! That subscribe button. Always appreciate it.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Poor Patrick Mahomes, already having to deal with some adversity in the offseason.
Dog.
Showtime, Mahomes.
Kramer, let it ride.